Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Excelsior, the Tier 5 British Premium Heavy Tank, located on the north spawn of Prokhorovka. This one is under the command of ProvoBob. Well, he still hasn't got 3 marks on his barrel, but he loves playing this tank so much, he plays it regularly. And I can understand why, because it's actually quite an interesting tank, and a lot of people who originally didn't have one, when they did actually get one, suddenly found out why. It's got very thick armour at the front of the vehicle, but fairly thin armour at the sides. Now, it was actually built as a replacement for the Churchill, because after the raid on Dieppe, they weren't so certain that the Churchill tanks were up to the task of taking on the Germans, so they needed to come up with an alternative, and this one, well, was supposed to be a Cromwell tank which was up armoured. The Cromwell, the A27, with extra hull, turret, armour and a different track suspension system from an M6 heavy tank. In fact, they made 2 versions. It was Rolls-Royce who proposed it, and English Electric built 2 hulls with a Rolls-Royce Meteor engine, 12-cylinder engine, a 75mm gun, which was capable of 110 alpha and penetrating 91mm with standard ammo, and with a premium ammo, which of course Bob is very fond of firing, is actually 144. But you'll notice in this game, which is a tier 5 game, he's actually using standard ammo. At last he's suddenly worked out that the standard ammo works almost as good as the APCR, the premium, and saves him a lot of cash in the process. So he actually makes a healthy profit from using standard ammo on some of these enemy tanks. Now, a few of them he will need to fire premium ammo on. He can probably get through inside that Churchill, but actually that one hit the tracks. He's going for the engine, he's loading the APCR now. He's easily going to go through the side of the Churchill with APCR. That's hitting the tracks. I'd aim for towards the rear of the vehicle to actually get the engine bay. Yep, he's getting it now. That way you miss the suspension and those boxes on the sides of the vehicle. But the Churchill is firing back. Obviously he's got a 75mm as well. Is it? No, he's actually, if I remember correctly, he's got a 57mm with that version. That's the Churchill 3, the premium Soviet tier 5. It's actually a 57mm with good penetration. Okay, so he's taken out the Churchill 3, he's got his first kill, and now he's going after the BDR. Now, BDRs do have particularly good armour, but he can probably still penetrate it with a standard round. He's still loading the APCR. The DW2 can use standard ammo on that, but he is firing very long range. You do lose penetration when you fire at long range. He didn't get that kill, but he's out of the game. The BDR has spotted him, and he's using that building for cover at the moment. And he's firing back. Now, I don't know if he's got the 90mm gun, but he does have an enemy tank nearby, an Su-76M, and he needs to deal with this first before he engages the BDR. And the best way to do that is on the left-hand side of the wreck, because that way he can't be shot in the side. Now, he could actually do the Su-76 with standard ammo. Again, he's forgotten which ammo he's in, but he will easily pen the Su-76 and get him out of the game. One more shot. Yep, he's gone. Now, let's standard ammo this T150. In fact, he's still loading the premium. I think it's in the heat of the moment he doesn't realise. He can ram damage that T50, but one more shot to kill, and he gets him. Now, he's got to deal with this AMX-40, and they are slightly more difficult. The Duck has thick armour, and so it would help him. Oh, he got a fire there, and he gets the kill shot. So he's now up to 4 kills. He's taken the hill. It's all his. I'd switch back to the standard ammo now, because you've blown a huge number of credits, and you are actually, well, not wasting credits as such, but you're wasting the opportunity to have those rounds available later on if you need them. You might have to take on the BDR, and the BDR does have tough armour from the front, a bit like the Excelsior in some ways. Okay, he can see the BDR because the BDR is in sight of our teammates, but He can't get at him at the moment, but he's on the other side of the railway line. So the best thing he can do is go down to the bottom, to the railway line, and shoot up the line, up the tree line. Now he's been spotted. Somebody is close by. In fact, it's that Matilda who spotted him, I think. There he is. He's just on the other side of the railway line, though. He's just got the top of his turret poking up. So you need accurate shots to get through the Matilda's armour, and you're not getting through. So I'd leave the premium. Oh, that's what spotted him. It's a T80. Standard ammo on the T80. Don't waste the premium rounds. Well, he gets a pen on the T80, but he is blowing a lot of the premium rounds again. I think it's because once he gets engaged, he forgets that he can actually pen with the other ones, and the T80 has gone down to the VK3001H. Okay, now he has got 20% of the enemy hit pool, so he probably has a high caliber, but he could now drive down to the railway line. I think he's waiting for his teammates to spot them so he can shoot them from up here. I think he'd be much better off getting closer because he's having difficulty with accuracy at long range. There's the Matilda. He's not going to pen that turret until he gets closer. And the Matilda's gone. That means there's only one enemy left, and it's an M10 RBFM, and he's over on the west side of the map, and we're nowhere near him, so ProvoBob needs to motor as fast as he can. It's too late because the enemy has been killed over on the other side of the map by the Wolverine. So this game is a victory. Here's an end of battle stats, and it's an ace tanker for ProvoBob in the Excelsior yet again. He's had quite a few in the past. In fact, if you notice on the side of his turret, there is an achievements mark showing he's had multiple ace tankers in this tank already. He got a fighter badge for taking out at least 4 enemy tanks. He got 4 exactly. A duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, and a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, as well as a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one, I think he got 11. He also got the high caliber because he did deal the most damage in the game, and a steel wall for blocking the most damage in the game, staying alive at the end, at least 11 hits. And just look at that win rate, 10,860. It's a very high score, and I think it reflects the fact that he does use this tank a lot, so he does know how to get the damage. It's just he just uses way too much premium ammo, and I keep ranting on about that. I know I'm a bit of a nag when it comes to that, but I think he can make a lot of profit if he actually used standard ammo most of the time and only switch to the premium rounds when he absolutely has to. Let's have a look at team score and see where he is. Well, there were a lot of bots in that game, but we weren't paying attention to them. We can see that ProvoBob did get the highest damage in the game, 2,769. The second highest damage was the Wolverine on our team with 1,845. The third highest damage was that M10 RBFM on the other side of the battlefield with 1,364. When it came to kills, he had the highest number of those. He got 4 kills. 3 kills went to the BDR, and 2 kills went to the KB1 on our team. And when it came to base XP, he was streets ahead of everyone else. Look at that, 1,569. That's kind of a seal clubbing score. 689 went to the Wolverine, and 584 went to the KB1. 47 shots fired, 31 direct hits on the enemy, 26 penetrations, 2,769 hit points of damage, and 336 of that was at more than 300 meters. He received 22 hits from the enemy, most of them on the front of the vehicle where it struck the armor strongest. 11 of them penetrated. I think that may have been down to the fact that the Churchill was firing its 57mm rounds, the 6-pounder rounds, back at him, and they do have decent pen, but he was also getting hit by other tanks at the time, and I think some of them might have been firing the premium ammo. 11 non-penetrations as well, 755 hit points blocked by armor. 3 enemy vehicles spotted, 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 4 killed, and 592 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 76,892 credits for the battle, 71,301 for mission completion. That's the holiday ops, you might say. So his total came to 148,193 credits altogether. But look at that ammo cost. Yes, premium ammo does cost him a lot. And so, yes, if he hadn't have had that that reward for the mission completion, he would have made a big loss overall on the battle. But as it is, he actually came out with a profit of 41,250. He got 25 bonds as well, because of course it was an achievement award. And he also picked up 5,649 XP from the game. This is a premium vehicle, so you get extra for that. But you can see it's very easy to train crews in this tank, because it just generates large amounts of XP to get your crew skills up on time. So another ace tanker to add to his pile. But he still hasn't quite learned how to play the game without any premium ammo whatsoever. I would say actually just reduce the number of premium shells down to about 10, so you can't fire that many, and only use those for the tanks that you can't penetrate or would have great difficulty penetrating, such as in this game, maybe the BDR, because that was the more difficult tank to penetrate from the armor. Plus, of course, it might have the 90mm gun, which you'd have to avoid. The Churchill you can penetrate, but you just got to work out where on the vehicle to put the shells in. There were boxes on the side of the tanks, and when he fired the first premium round, first standard rounds, he hit the boxes on the side, and of course it didn't pen. It went through, hit the tracks and the box, and that's the end of that shell. But as soon as he actually angled the shot towards the rear of the Churchill and started using the premium ammo, he was going through no problem whatsoever. So if he'd actually used standard rounds on the rear of the Churchill, I'm pretty sure he would have got hits. But it was also the fact that he was firing at some distance away from the Churchill, and as shells fly through the air, they lose some velocity, and that means their penetration drops. So it makes it more difficult for penning enemy tanks, unless of course you increase the pen with premium ammo. But I do know that the Excelsior can win battles without any premium ammo being used whatsoever. So it's a good training vehicle to get you to aim at weak spots and learn how to do it that way. In fact, I'm almost tempted to go into the game myself and practice on the Excelsior and the Churchill 3 and the other premium tanks at that level to show to ProvoBob exactly that you can do it. But I know he's getting very high win 8 scores, so he's definitely going to be providing his British heavy tanks with prime crews who are capable of winning games. We just need to practice winning games without premium ammo. I hope you enjoyed that replay. It was a very good battle, actually. He was basically the only one, well, only one of two who went up the hill. The other guy died, but he certainly won the hill for his team, and that helped them to win the game, I think, overall. If you enjoyed this replay, thanks for watching, and see you soon.